just say, and I'm gonna speak for me and probably you too a little bit, Tasia, that I'm gonna keep it a buck, okay? What men are not thinking about when you are upset about a woman that you're choosing is that we ultimately want to submit to the leadership of our partner. Most women want to be soft in their homes. Most women want to be led by their partner, especially feminine women. Let me not say most women. Feminine women want to be led. So that's who I'm speaking to right now. Masculine men want to lead. Well, this is the thing. If I'm making all the decisions for the household, because I don't question where my rent is going to come from. I have a call, like all the things you just said, I'm like, oh, I did that 15 years ago. You know, so the conversations are a little bit different. And I feel like if you have to juggle between how am I going to put food in my fridge, gas in my car, and also pay my rent on time. Because at a time when I first moved to America from Canada at 20 years old, that was my story. That was a long time ago, and that's no longer my story. So if that's your story, great. Go be with somebody that has that similar story. Go be with somebody else.
That's the extreme example, though.
That's the extreme.
Because the conversations that we have, and women are literally saying, I make $300,000 a year. He makes $100K. He's not viable.
But wait, Doc, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying the leadership. It's about leadership. So for me,
but money doesn't equate to leadership at all.
Let me finish. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying if you are going to lead me in the ways, that means you need to have the mindset. That means you need to have the mentality, the emotions, the spirit, the energy, the physical. And that's why I said in the beginning, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. You cannot use 7 because that's how I measure success. It's not just about the money. If all you have is money, you're broke. And to a woman, if all you have is your body, you're broke too. Y'all deserve each other. That's the modern day woman I'm talking about, and the men. They deserve each other. But what I'm saying is, if you're gonna lead this household, I don't wanna have to slow down to let you pass me up.
So let's speak about the women who are not feeling, because it's so extreme that the average woman doesn't make that much money.
That's true.
Right? So when we're speaking about extremes, we're speaking about your specific situation, right? And we are not accounting for the actual listener. The actual listener is making 50, 70, maybe 80, right? So what happens to the man that only makes 50, 70, 80? Is he now completely disqualified? Because we've completely changed the conversation. We said average. Now we're talking about men that make $300,000 a year. We can't even keep the conversation to the same topic of the average man. He's still being bypassed in the conversation. So if he's being bypassed in the conversation, well, we can't even stay on topic and talk about the man. Imagine the women that's listening to the conversation, their mind is still going to the $300,000 man.
Can I just say one more thing? Let me just add this context. Because I missed the landing the first time I talked, so I just want to say this part. Even if you are that 50, 60, 70,000 earning man, there is still a desire for you at some point to make enough to where your wife doesn't have to work.
Yes.
Are people not able to make a living and provide a beautiful life with $50,000? That's crazy. That is exactly what he said. That's what he said. That's exactly what he said. If a person makes under a certain amount of money, to say that they don't have the ability to lead, provide, and have all of these things, that's exactly what y'all are saying. Y'all are going around about a way to say it, but that's how people are perceiving the things that y'all say. And when y'all speak, y'all completely discount a large portion of the world, right? Because you only speak towards your experience, and that's not fair to the average listener.
I agree with that.
I don't think that the men that don't qualify for a particular woman's standards should be included in the conversation they're having. Why would they be talking about men they don't want to date? I don't have an issue with that. I also don't have an issue with men or women wanting guys that make money as long as they understand what they lose leverage when it comes with that. She was saying that it's hard for her because she's done all these things 10, 15 years ago and she's making money. But the problem is what she'll understand is that the higher her income goes, the less desirable she is to the man she wants. So most of these guys, like her dream guy, he doesn't want a woman who makes a bunch of money. That's not important to us. It doesn't benefit him. It's not going to make her any better of a partner. It's actually more likely to make her less desirable as a partner, because to be successful in business, you have to have a lot of traits that don't necessarily make you a great wife or a girlfriend. They make you a good employee or employer, but that's not what we're looking for. So when they're saying, that you can't provide a life at $50,000, you can't. You can't provide the life that average women want, because average women don't want average lives. They want exceptional lives. And for some strange reason, they feel entitled to them. I think it's because exceptional men will fuck average women, and they turn that into like, well, if I can fuck rich niggas, I should be able to get and keep one, and that's just not true.
I'm curious as to why is this conversation even happening with a woman that's not married? Like if I'm assuming she's single, so I mean it's like why? Who cares what your expectations may be? You can't even keep a man at this point. That's what we do know for a fact, regardless of whatever the situation may be. Because if the dude that she want is out there, so why can't you get him? If you all of this and that, and you know what I'm saying, why can't you get this magic man that you want, that you see yourself with? That 9 out of 10 you're probably never going to get. She's going to be 40 years old talking the same shit.
Going to be. I feel like she probably just about there already.
She going to be 50 years old talking the same shit. So it's like why are we even allowing these people to even lead the conversation in topics like that? It's crazy.
I'm curious what women get out of listening to women like that.
But we need this though. Again, Mandy, look, these are samples that we need to take back to the cave and share with the young bloods. Listen to how they talk. Listen to how they speak. Listen to how they move. Listen to how they think and operate. We need this. Allow these heifers to talk. Allow them to speak freely. Fellas, stop talking so much and just pay attention. Keep your ears open, mouth shut. Listen to what they saying so you know what to do, how to operate and how to move. And when I talk to my son, come here, dog, look at this. And I'll show him what's what. You see how she's talking? That's a woman you don't deal with. Don't waste your time. Don't even entertain her. Matter of fact, she's not even worth your penis. Don't even give her that. But if you feel the desire to fuck on her, then fuck on her and get up and keep it moving. Other than that, what else is it good for? Let them talk. We just need to take the intel and share it with the nephews, with the little brothers, with your cousins, with your heartbreaking friend, because he was out there messing with that type of woman and he fucked up. And now you say, dog, I told you. And that's what you get right there. That's what you was dealing with. Now you know the next time you go out there, you won't deal with that anymore. You already touched the fire. You felt how hot it was. Learn from your mistakes. We need that real dope.
I think that man should be hitting. If men are going to be out here fucking anything, it should be the average women that most men would never wife, because then that leaves the good wifely women alone to be found for a man to wife. It's, everybody has a throwaway.
But the good wifely women are being wifed though.
Really, not no.
Well, I see. I agree. I think I agree with that, Viz. Because at this point, I look at you see a lot of women saying, they're single by choice, and like they've clung to that mantra like it's a reality. Because any woman who wants to be in a relationship and wants to be a wife, or even just to be married, if she could have the type of men that she wanted right now, she would. So the reason why they're single is because the men they want don't want them.
Don't we feel like this is the American way? Isn't this what we're taught? That we are the best, that we deserve the best? Isn't this what these women have been taught all their lives by their peers, by the church, that God is just going to have a man for you? He's just going to spawn and you're going to have a beautiful life. This is what they've been taught their entire lives. And to expect it to change right now, after they've been beaten ahead for the majority of their lives, that this is what they deserve, this is what you're supposed to have, this is what's going to happen. We know that women don't think like us. They dwell on the possibility versus probability. They can hope and wish. That's just something that they do. Women are allowed to live in fantasies and not always have to pay the consequences for it. Us as men, when we live like that, we pay the consequences immediately, whereas they don't have to pay those consequences. This is just what women think. I don't know if they're ever going to realize how the world really works and what they truly have access to. It doesn't look like it's happening anytime soon. And us as men, for the majority, we're not willing to do our part and exclude these women from the dating place. We're deeming them as recreational use, which is okay, cool, but it's not going to alleviate the problem. It's only going to exacerbate the issue in actuality. So as long as we're willing to do that, then shit, we can't really complain about it either. If the one thing that we could do to help correct the market, we're not willing to.
Hey, but Trev, men were told that same thing. See, we was told to make sure we get the right one. There's just as there's the expectation that women have. I would hope that most men have the same. Like
I think everyone was told to get the right ones, but did they tell you wasn't gonna have to do shit to get it? Did they tell you God was gonna give you one? Did they tell you one was just gonna spawn because you deserved it? Or did your parents tell you that you're probably gonna have to put some work in to get things in life that you deserve?
Well, I think at one point, and we had this conversation before too, but even then, for women, even if they were in the church, right? When I was growing up in church, I knew that the girls had purity class, right? And whatever the hell they taught them in purity class, it wasn't this is just going to be handed to you. This was you're going to have to learn how to do X, Y, and Z, right? Back in the day, back when Heek was a young buck, you know, they had the grandmamas teaching, you know, the daughters how to turn.
I dig it. I dig it.
Like, you gotta know how to
I'm old enough to remember all of that, but they've since chased the men out of the church. Right? They've since chased the men out of the church. They've jumped on. See, what happens is once you infuse politics into anything, it destroys it. Politics were infused into the church, and Democrats brought their views. When I was younger in church, there were a lot of things that were unacceptable. Right? You couldn't dress a certain way, and there wasn't no rainbow. That was just not a thing. I remember them having classes for people that were struggling with it. Now you can't do nothing like that, right? It's what do you mean? What's wrong with that? So a lot of nonsense has happened, man. It's been gynocentric now, and it's chased men the hell out of there because we don't see a place for us. We weren't able to develop. They put much more into women, just like anything else in life, right? We can't get mad at it. We just have to adapt. But that's the reality of it. So yeah, we got chased the hell out of the church, man, for the most part, unfortunately.